Is Gen Z hard to work with? Well, this is going to depend on one thing and one thing only. It all comes down to this variable. Are you a complete garbage, intolerable, unbearable, shitty asshole of a boss / employer or not? It all comes down to that, okay? Because if you are just an intolerable, unbearable, shitty human being, then yeah, Gen Z is going to be hard to work with, as they should be, you know? But if you're just a somewhat decent and reasonable person, Gen Z is actually pretty awesome to work with. So recently I've been getting a lot of comments from people being like, well, it's easy for you to think Gen Z is so awesome when you don't actually have to work with them. You know, when you're just chilling here with your small YouTube channel, telling them how awesome they are. Yeah, of course it's going to be easy for you, but wait till you actually have to work with them. Basically what they're trying to do, guys, they're trying to paint me as some sort of naive, ignorant child who doesn't know the real world, never started my own business, but the day I actually do, I'm going to grow up, grow out of my viewpoints and agree with them on everything. And guys, this is just objectively false. I mean, first of all, I'm 34. You know, I'm not even Gen Z myself. I'm just a millennial guy who went through the same bullshit with these asshole delusional bosses. And I'm happy that the younger generation is seeing it for what it is and calling it out, which is why I'm so passionate about making these videos. But beyond that, it's also objectively false that I haven't started my own business and I've never worked with Zoomers myself. Because this YouTube channel has gotten to a point where it's its own small business. It generates income, you know, and I work with a lot of young Zoomers on this channel to run this channel. You know, I can't do everything myself. I have a Gen Z editor. You know, I have a Gen Z guide who's the mod for our wonderful Discord community. By the way, definitely join us in the join our Discord. You know, feel free. We got a lot of interesting conversations going on there. But anyways, I actually do have a decent amount of experience working with Gen Z guys. And I'm here to tell you, it's actually a pretty great experience. You just have to be a somewhat decent, reasonable person. Okay, so I'm going to start off just by talking about my personal experience working with my editor for this channel. You know, the guy who's made all these videos you guys have come to really love and enjoy. He is a young Gen Z guy in his early 20s, about the same age as a lot of you watching, okay? And like a lot of you, he was feeling lost in the school system. You know, all his teachers thought he was going to be a failure. You know, the whole 9 yards that we all deal with today, right? He didn't want to go the traditional route, didn't see the point of that at all. And we were friends for many years before we started this YouTube channel, but we always had like an idea, a vision to make a YouTube channel together one day. We just didn't know what we wanted it to be. Now, what you guys see on this YouTube channel is a very, very small tip of the iceberg when it comes to all the work we've put in to build our YouTube channel eventually. You know, we actually started out on TikTok and God, I want to say we must have made something like 500 to 1,000 videos about all sorts of different things. You know, we tried horoscopes, we tried dark psychology, we tried gaming, like all of it failed. None of it really clicked until we finally found this niche right here. So it was like probably, I would say we were working together for like a year and a half before either of us even made a single penny at this. Okay. And I'm here to tell you guys, even in the beginning days, okay, before either of us made any money at this at all, he was incredibly motivated and engaged to show up and work with me every day on building, you know, our TikTok and our YouTube account. Like every single day, he was motivated and, you know, engaged with the whole process, even before we were getting, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, Gen Z doesn't want to work just because they're not getting paid enough. That's part of the issue, and we'll get to that a bit later. But the other part of the issue is you're providing them with such soulless, unfulfilling work where they're not building anything for themselves. So it's like, of course, no shit, they're not going to want to work with you. Of course, they're going to be difficult to work with when they see through your BS system and lies that, you know, you can try to lie to them as much as that you want about, you know, if they work hard and grind, it's going to pay off. They're just too smart for that shit. So anyways, back to my, you know, experiences working with my editor here. Like, yeah, we made no money in the beginning. He was still super motivated and engaged every day to show up and work with me just because he knew we were building something for ourselves. Also, he could see I wasn't making any money either, right? I think what pisses them off more than anything, as it should, is when they see the bosses making a ton of money, buying these Lambos, Mercedes, and yachts, and they're getting nothing. Then yeah, it's like you're just exploiting me. Then yeah, you should be hard to work with when you're being treated like that. But because he saw I wasn't making anything in the beginning either, we were perfectly happy to just work on this together. And, today we've had, I would say, a relatively successful small YouTube channel here. I mean, we have a great community and everything else. So yeah, part of it is like these stupid bosses aren't paying them enough. But I would say like, if you can, help these, young Zoomers, if you can sell them on like the idea that they're building something for themselves, that, something they want to do, like a lot of them want to do YouTube, right? Why not think about like how you can help them achieve their dreams instead of just forcing, these delusional old fucks, they're always saying, oh, you need to get a real job. Well, what if they don't want to get a real job? What if there's just not, you're so capitalist, free market supply, demand all the time. What if there's just not enough free market demand for them to want to work a real job, So like this capitalism thing, this free market supply and demand goes both ways. There's just not enough free market demand to want to work your shitty, normal, quote unquote, real jobs. Now, in case someone's going to come along and be like, well, that's just one guy, that's just an anecdote. I mean, I have another story too. And, I get this is just another anecdote. Okay, I don't have like, 100,000 employee business, but I doubt any of these people who, criticize Gen Z actually have their own businesses either. They're just going along with what these, they're just brainwashed by corporate shills in corporate America to regurgitate whatever bullshit comes out of their mouth. But anyways, there was another guy, Chase Level 1, by the way, who's also a young Zoomer who initially started off as just a subscriber to this channel. Now he's built his own YouTube channel, which I'm very proud of. Go check it out, by the way. Without me even asking, guys, when I started our Discord community, he offered to be a mod because I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to Discord. I mean, I just never really understood how to use any of it as a millennial. So he actually offered to be the mod for free. And, he helped me start up our Discord, start up our community, organize all the chats so people could communicate efficiently there. And I was really grateful for that. And because he offered to do it for free, I decided, you know what? I should, as a decent human being, do something for him in return. I should. And what I ended up doing was, okay, I will give you, a free 1 hour consultation. I'll personally, have a call with you where I teach you everything I know about YouTube and help you build your channel as well. I felt a personal sense of obligation and reciprocity to do that for him, for what he did, for helping me set up, our Discord channel. But these delusional, entitled, narcissistic, asshole boomer bosses, they're not like that. They will want you to work. I mean, he did unpaid labor for me, essentially, so I did something back for him, all right? But it was like a one-time quick thing, all right? These asshole boomer bosses, they want you to do internships, which is just a fancy word for child labor, but they're such dog shit, entitled pieces of shit. They don't even want to pay you anything at all. They want you to do an internship where they don't pay you nothing at all, right? They still want you to show up 40 hours a week. Like, I just wanted him to do like a one-time task. That's all I was reasonably willing to ask for when it came to unpaid labor. These delusional, narcissistic, asshole boomer bosses, they want 40 hours per week of unpaid labor. They want you to show up, be incredibly engaged and motivated and excited to work when they're literally paying you nothing, right? And then they're somehow confused and befuddled and they don't give you anything back either, right? What you supposedly get in return for an internship is experience, which, I'm just going to stop myself from laughing hysterically right now, like the Joker, because we all know how big of a fucking joke job experience is these days. Like, the job market's screwed, you're not going to get a job no matter how much experience. The whole thing is just bullshit. Anyway, so like, yeah, I saw he did something nice for me, and I reciprocated and, did something for him in return. But for these asshole, narcissistic, piece of shit bosses and employers, none of this is enough. They want you to do everything for them. They want to pay you nothing, and they call you hard to work with. for not putting up with this dog shit exploitation. Nah, fuck that. Gen Z is right for being hard to work with. If you pay, here's the thing, guys. These narcissistic, toxic bosses, they're so free market capitalists. They'll lecture you all day, every day about how, oh, if you're not getting paid enough, it's because your skills don't deserve a good pay yet. Well, I got news for you guys. Free market capitalism works both ways, all right? You get what you pay for, including labor. If you're paying people like dog shit, you can expect a dog shit effort. If you pay people like shit, expect them to give you shit. Free market capitalism, supply and demand, it works both ways. Entitlement is a two-way street. You're not entitled to cheap youth labor either. You're not entitled to people's best efforts, and especially if you're not willing to pay them enough and treat them decent. You don't even have to pay them enough. If you just treat them like a decent human being, like I was able to do with my editor in the beginning days of our channel, right? If you just treat them like a remotely decent human being, you can get them. They're actually pretty wonderful to work with. The reason they're hard for you to work with is because you're a piece of shit, abusive, toxic, narcissist, delusional asshole. And yeah, they should be hard to work with for somebody like that.